All right, give it a couple of minutes. Hello. Happy Monday. It's been a crazy weekend. And I got to tell you, when it came to whatever happened last night on the Oscars, I didn't know anything about it. Like, I didn't know about it. As soon as I woke up this morning, I knew everything about it. It was everywhere. I was like, oh shit. Oh shit. Will Smith? Like, that's so unlike Will Smith. Um, hey, Steven, how are you? Good to see you. Yeah, no, and that's what kind of surprised me about this whole thing is the one thing Will does all the time is he tries to really keep his reputation the way he's kept it, like the good guy, the nice guy, which he's always been. Hey, Lone Wolf, good morning. Um, he's always been that guy. So when I first I didn't even know. All I know is I went on YouTube and I started looking, and I'm like, no, because I don't watch the Oscars. I don't watch anything like that. But I will understand. I do. I'm going to be honest here. There's a lot of rumors that have circulated the Smith family many a times, especially with Jada Pinkett's Red Table Talk or whatever it is. Um, the fact is that they're known for having like an open marriage. She's known for dating one of her son's friends, like really young, and Will had somebody else with him as well. Hey, Paige, I can't stay. That's okay. I'm glad you stopped by. And you know what, Stephen? I really have a hard time sitting around watching a bunch of rich celebrities pat themselves on the back. I'm not in the mood for that. Like, I don't watch the Oscars anymore. I don't watch any of that stuff. Hey, Gemma, good morning. Oh, swingers. But I'm going to be honest here. Not a fan of Jada. I just never have been a fan of Jada. Always have liked Will. Um, but I understand him getting upset. Now, I did watch the video. The video does show he's laughing at the joke. Jada does not laugh. She side eye him and she side eyes, and then it pans back to Chris Rock, and she either said something or something nonverbal communication wise in regards to what Chris has said. So probably Will sees that Chris upset Jada apparently again. And what happened is he did not react well. And that I understand when someone is sick in your family or someone has a condition that they don't have a choice of. And Jada does. Jada has an autoimmune disease called alopecia, which makes you lose your hair. Now, losing your hair as a female compared to a male, I think is a little bit different. Hey, Mr. Shannonite, is a little bit different than a man losing hair, only because, I mean, for us women, like a lot of our beauty comes from hair, having long hair or whatever kind of hair you want to have. But yeah, I think, Will got pushed to the limit, got up. Nobody expected I don't think anybody expected what happened to happen. But it was, and then for him to start screaming, keep my wife's name out of your effing mouth, and screamed it. Now, if he probably went, she's got an autoimmune issue, you stepped over the line, you need to apologize. That's how he should have handled it. It was in the moment. He was livid. He got up and he slapped him across the face, slapped him right across the face. And was talking with my daughter this morning. She's like, no, no, mom, he punched him. He punched him. I said, no, it was open hand. So I showed her this morning. She's like, oh, you're right. She's like, that's one loud slap. I'm like, mm-hmm. Hey, Nancy Drew, good to see you guys. I do understand that he felt the need to protect his wife. I felt he need to put him in a spot. They've had issues before. So Chris Rock and Will Smith having issues is nothing new. Will Smith slapping Chris Rock across the face. Well, that's an issue. Oh, there's no place this morning because I don't, like I said, I don't watch the Oscars. Personally, I sat and I watched 90 Day Fiance. That's what I did because I watched that instead. And the slap, not a punch. It is a slap, not a punch. That was a big, hefty slap. That had to hurt. And Chris Rock didn't even touch his face like once. I'm thinking, hey, Carla. I was thinking to myself, Chris Rock is the one who handled this unbelievably well. Nobody, I didn't see anybody running to Chris. He's the one who got hit. Mind you, I think everybody can understand when it comes to a loved one, and if they're sick and it's something that they cannot control, your significant other is going to step in and try to protect. That's what family does. They protect family. That's what he did, but he reacted wrong. At the Oscars, the biggest thing for celebrities, live on TV. I'm like, I can't believe that this happened on TV. Now, from what I heard, I think it was on our ABC station here. I heard that they blacked out the words and it was trying to read lips at that point. So I understand why Will did what he did, but is Will wrong for doing what he did? Absolutely. You cannot go around assaulting people who say something in a joke. Now, mind you, it was about her hair. There's the biggest problem that she has that she probably feels really self-conscious about. Will probably knows that. And now he just felt like he crossed the line. So his way, he went, and I think he might have forgotten that this was live on TV. Because there isn't a time that one of us at some point have not been filled with rage. I know recently, if I don't say anything and I keep my mouth shut and my husband's with me and he's the one who starts talking, you know I'm mad if I can't form words. If I cannot form words, it's bad. It's very bad because I'm really dialing back, I think, the inner Karen that I can have. But yeah, so when I get mad now, I just tend to go very, very silent. Very silent. For instance, it was nobody's fault, but it was just like things just weren't happening well. It was the day of our anniversary. And if it was our anniversary, we were supposed to have a couples massage. We get there, they're like, oh, one of your masseuses called out. Sorry, not today. I'm like, it's our anniversary. This is what I was so upset, but I was just like, I knew there was nothing they could do about it. I couldn't believe it. And I was so upset because that's what we were doing. Like, because we have so many weddings coming up, that's what we were going to do. I didn't watch, but when I heard, I was instantly fascinated. I restrained myself from slapping a sleepy leader. Okay, Nancy, we won't mention him. We're not going to mention him. But yeah, I was like, I'm not watching the Oscars. I'm not watching the Oscars at all. But I woke up and I saw this, and apparently, from what I'm hearing, this was the only good part of the whole Oscars itself. But this is around. But you got to think about it this way. Us as YouTube creators, we can get shit on pretty easily by having a channel, just by coming out here, putting yourself, you don't even have to do anything. People can either make fun of you because of an illness, your hair color, your weight, your eye color, whatever it may be. People like to tear people down. I don't get it because I'm not that person. Never have been. Ever, I don't think. I just was never that person who was comfortable gossiping about somebody else, unless I was really mad at you. But even then, I never liked to get into that talk and do that. That's not what I do. But getting off topic a little bit here, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to play this for you guys. I just want to get an understanding of what people actually feel like. Do you feel like Will was justified? Do you think Will was justified? Or do you think that his Oscar should be stripped because of his actions last night? That seems to be the predicament this morning. Whether, because Chris Rock has come forward, he had spoken to the police, he has chosen not to press charges. I mean, even Chris Rock was stop, Gypsy. Stop, Gypsy. Sorry. Stop it. Hey, stop it. Hey, stop. Stop. Every sound, every day, this dog will sound off. It's just been like a really weird weekend, though. Don't you agree? I'm going to do a different video. It's not going to be about this, but I am absolutely heartbroken over Taylor Hawkins passing over the weekend. I'm a huge Foofs fan, and that hurt. That one really, really stung. So I'm going to go on to here we go. He seems to have this. This is that umbrella guy. He has literally all the audio that you can hear. So let's hear.
Jada, I love you. G.I. Jane 2, can't wait to see it. All
right? Now he's laughing. She leans up and goes like this. It's in a matter of seconds.
Nice one. Okay. I'm out here. Oh, Richard.
Within seconds, he's walking on that stage.
Oh, wow. Wow. Will Smith just smacked the shit out of me.
Literally.
Get my name out your fucking mouth. Wow, dude. Yeah. It was a G.I. Jane joke. Keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth. I'm going to, okay? Okay.
So cringe.
That was greatest night in the history of television.
Now, during the break, you can see Denzel Washington and Tyler Perry come over to try to comfort Will Smith.
And you could tell. I mean, think about it. These people get shit on constantly because they're celebrities. I would never want to be a celebrity these day and age. Hell no. Not with all the stuff. So they show you Denzel going up to him. They show you Bradley Cooper going up to him. They show you his publicists. Denzel's sitting with Jada.
Now, Will Smith ends up winning the Oscar for lead actor, and he brings up this situation, and he does not apologize to Chris Rock.
And the Oscar goes to
Will Smith! Oh man. Richard Williams was a fierce defender of his family. In this time in my life, in this
moment, I am overwhelmed by what God is calling on me to do and be in this world. Making this film, I got to protect Aunjanue Ellis, who was one of the strongest, most delicate people I've ever met. I got to protect Sanaya and Demi, the two actresses that played Venus and Serena.
I gotta see that movie.
I'm being called on in my life to love people and to protect people and to be a river to my people.
Stop it. Gypsy.
What we do,
Stop it.
you gotta be unique.
Stop it.
Abuse, you gotta be able to have people talk crazy about you. In this business, you gotta be able to have people disrespecting you. And you gotta smile and you gotta pretend like that's okay. But Richard Williams, and what I loved, thank you, D. Denzel said to me a few minutes ago, he said, at your highest moment, be careful, that's when the devil comes for you. It's like, I want to be a vessel for love. I want to say thank you to Venus and Serena. I just spit. I hope they didn't see that on TV. I want to say thank you to Venus and Serena and the entire Williams family for entrusting me with your story. That's what I want to do. I want to be an ambassador of that kind of love.
Yeah, Paige.
And care and concern. I want to apologize to the Academy. I want to apologize to all my fellow nominees. This is a beautiful moment, and I'm not crying for winning an award. It's not about winning an award for me. It's about being able to shine light on all of the people, Tim and Trevor and Zach and Sanaya and Demi and Aunjanue and the entire cast and crew of King Richard and Venus and Serena, the entire Williams family. Art imitates life. I look like the crazy father, just like they said. I look like crazy father, just like they said about Richard Williams. But love will make you do crazy things. To my
Hey,
mother,
Emily.
a lot of this moment is really complicated for me, but to my mother, she didn't want to come out. She had her knitting friends. She has a knitting crew that she's in Philly watching.
What a show they saw, right?
Being able to love and care for my mother, and my family, my wife. I'm taking up too much time. Thank you for this honor. Thank you for this moment. And thank you on behalf of Richard and Oracene, the entire Williams family.
Wow, Paige.
Thank you. Hoping Academy invites me back. Thank you.
Now, according to Variety, the Los Angeles Police Department has confirmed that Chris Rock declined
That's just basically telling you. Now that's That Umbrella Guy. If you don't, or if you're not subscribed to That Umbrella Guy, you've got to be, especially if you are interested in the Amber Heard Johnny Depp. He covers it amazingly. I don't have his link right now. I will put it like at the bottom of this video once I'm done. I always promote him and Popcorn Planet. I watch the two of them a lot. But yeah, I chose not to watch. No offense. I chose not to watch because I cannot stand Amy Schumer. That's it. That's why I really, really, really didn't watch. I cannot stand Amy Schumer. But with that being said, I think there's a lot to learn from this whole situation. Chris was telling a joke. You can tell a joke to a point where it hurts somebody, and the benefit to the freedom of speech is that you don't have freedom to the consequence, whatever the consequence may be to your words. It was a joke. He did laugh. Jada did not. I don't know I wonder what happened between the two that made him just go and just snap into that action. Just snap into that action. And you can tell he regrets what he did. I think if he had the opportunity to hit Chris Rock, he'd probably hit him again. Probably not on live TV. That's the thing. When you got a friend or a family member who's sick and you see how much they suffer, and someone tells a joke and it hurts. It hurts you because you see it hurting somebody else. That's where freedom of speech and everything like that is where we need, like for me, I take those moments and try to make it a teachable moment. This is, I believe, a teachable moment for everybody. I really do. You need to think before you react. Number one, sometimes that's hard to do because you just react. But you need to think before you react, and because those actions are going to have consequences. So all of that, all of this will add up into something. Will Will Smith lose his Academy Award? I'm saying no, he's not going to. That's up to the Academy. That's not up to anybody but the Academy. My personal opinion, I don't think he's going to lose. I mean, I don't think he's going to lose it. As Paige said earlier, it's an understandable moment for all of us. We all pretty much been in that place where you kind of want to get up and do something, but there's something in the back of your head going, you can't do that. So if you do that, this and this and this will happen, and then this will happen, and then what good are you going to be if all of this, and you're lined up in jail or whatever it may be. And I'm not even relaying that to this. I'm just talking about in general, where your actions have consequences as well as your words. Everything has a consequence or a praise or whatever it might be. But watching this morning, and there was nothing else to see. Everybody was talking about it. My radio program that I like to listen to here in Philadelphia, they talked about that for a long time. But once again, Will reacted, shouldn't have. But how long, how many kicks can you see somebody take before you're going to react? And that's the truth. You know what, Paige? I hesitate every time now. Like I literally have to think of my actions twice because I'm at that point where I can snap at people very, very easily. I don't do it on here because I don't see these people and it's not affecting, my everyday life. But in the same sense, when it comes to my kids and it comes to my family, I'm so protective as well. It's just kind of like a natural thing for someone to maybe flip out on somebody else, especially when you're not the one who's going through it and you see the person who may be going through something. As I said to your kids, my kids today, I said, can you imagine if we were out in public and somebody made a joke. Now I'm just saying, people knew who I was. Somebody made a joke about my gastroparesis. My husband would think 3 times before he ever did, but if he saw that something hurt me, I think he would react in not the best way, because sometimes he can be a reactive person, but for the most part, he thinks before he acts. There has to be. I agree, Paige. Like, I see people fight on here, and I'm thinking to myself, why? Why do you want to fight? Why? Because I find that negative energy just to suck all the happiness out of me. And I'm just not someone who feels good about negatively talking about people. I don't know, call me weak. Maybe call me a sissy or whatever you want to call me. I grew up this way. This is the way I was. This is the way I've been since the day I was born. I've always been that person as well, to think of what is right and not what's easiest sometimes. You know what? I felt this to be a real teaching moment. I didn't watch it when it happened, but who really need to watch it when it happened? Because everybody saw it now. I don't think anybody, I woke up, it was the first thing in my face. I'm like, what the hell? I'm like, Will Smith? The Will Smith. And that's why at first I'm like, oh, this had to be a prank. This had to be like a ratings getting thing. But once you heard keep my wife's name out of your effing mouth, I knew all bets were off, because that's ABC, Disney. They don't like that kind of stuff. So in my personal, and like I said this before, my personal opinion is I understand where Will came from, but you can't do that. You were wrong on so many levels, especially on live freaking TV. And I guess, as someone who's married to a woman that he loves, I don't know. It's since this whole pandemic, people are different. People are just different. People are not the same people who went in at 2020 have come out the same at 2022. That's for damn sure. I'm not the same person at all. But as I said, is it understandable what Will did? Yes. Should Will lose it? Probably. If rules are rules and rules aren't made to be broken, and when it comes to the Oscars, that's kind of like how they are. Bye, Paige. Thanks for coming in. I'm almost done here anyway. I'm almost done. I'm kind of rambling at this point. I'm just trying to think of how to wrap this whole thing up with just think before you act, and especially in anger. Think of what your anger might do to somebody else, might make, and everyone's like, I don't care how anybody else feels. I don't give good. You know what I mean? Just treat everybody the way you want to be treated. That's all. Hey, True Helper, didn't even see you come in here. Hi. I know. See, me and True Helper get to see each other sometimes on our morning show program that we both like here in Philly, because it's so good. It's so good. You guys should listen to it. They do it live on YouTube. They do it. Preston and Steve should definitely watch it. Well, True Helper, the reason why her hair is so short is because she's got alopecia. So it's a disease. It's an autoimmune disease. It's not something she's in control of. So like I said, I don't know what's set or what got, there's history behind the two of them as well. They don't like each other. But the fact of the matter is you can't go around hitting people. on live TV. They have to do something. I just don't honestly think. I don't honestly think they're going to take his Oscar. I don't think. Yeah, they were. I agree. They were pretty spot on where they totally, completely understand where Will's coming from. But at the same time, you can't go around salting people just because you don't like what they're saying. If that was the case, everybody would be hitting people all the time. Look at this crazy world we live in. People just taking stuff. People can just walk into stores and just, I'm going to steal stuff. And nobody does anything. And yet there are people like many of us who go into a store, wouldn't even think of leaving without buying something. But there's no punishments for some people these days. And that's what it is. The punishments are less. There's not such a severe case. So if they're not going to get punished, what's to stop them from doing something more horrible? You know? It's good to see you, Emily. Thank you. You know, I do. I have to say, I feel bad for the guy. I do. I'm sure both. I don't think Chris Rock needs to go into crisis mode, but Will Smith, I'm sure, has already started. But I think the speech that he gave at the end of that was a good speech. I think he should have. He probably. Nah. I know. You see me going back and forth in my head, pulling myself back and forth. I'm like, should he apologize to Chris? Only if he's sorry. Only if he's sorry. Don't apologize if you're not sorry. If you're not sorry, say, you know what? I'm not sorry for what I did. I actually have respect for that. You know, I actually have respect when people can stand up and go, mm-mm. But with that, I want to thank everybody for coming in. I'm definitely going to do a video probably either tomorrow or Wednesday. I'm getting stuff together about Taylor Hawkins. That one stung. That one hurt. It was Saturday morning. I'm like, no. And I'm looking through, I'm like, believe it or not, I saw it on, for the first person I heard it from was, I have Serendipity had her community post up, and that's where I saw it. And I went, no. And I start looking, I'm like, and it was everywhere. And I'm like, so I went to my husband, I'm like, the Foo Fighters drummer died. He went, Taylor Hawkins? I'm like, yeah. He's like, no. You got it all wrong. Every time we do this, I'll come up to him, I'll tell him someone passed away. Did this with Bob Saget. Like, he's no. And he's like, how old was he? I said, 50. And he goes, drugs. I said, well, no, I was not the first thing I jumped to. Honestly, I thought, a lot of things, if you're not careful and getting checked out, heart attacks, things like that. I heard he was complaining about chest problems, but they showed his toxicology, which that wasn't good. Rest in peace, Taylor. It's just, that one sucks. I don't even know how to put it forward yet because it's still too new. And my sister was here. My sister was here yesterday. She was in from Washington State. I'm going to see her in like 10 days. And then I'm going to see her. I'm like, oh my God, I see way more of you than my sister who lives 40 minutes away. I'm like, oh my God. So she got to see Foo Fighters a couple of weeks ago. It was on a Sunday. I called her and she's like, I'm at a Foo Fighter show. I'm like, you effing bitch. Really? You're at a Foo Fighter show? And for me, I was just like, damn it, I'm going. I'm going to go. If it's not this year, it's going to be next. And my heart literally breaks for Dave Grohl because I adore Dave Grohl. Just a strange weekend. Let's just sum it up to that. Rest in peace, Taylor. Well, I'm sure you guys are in some kind of mode of some sort. And like I said, I can't blame them, but at the same time, you got to stop yourself before you move that far, because then you're going to only fuck yourself. And he's got to be lucky that Chris Rock is not going to press charges, because Chris Rock easily could. And honest to God, someone hitting you on live TV, I think I might, but I think Chris Rock understood, because I'm not sure if Chris Rock understood that she had a disease that lost her hair, and not for the fact that she was just sporting a bald, crew cut. And she rocks it, man. She's gorgeous. She's probably one of the most beautiful women in Hollywood. I personally don't like her, but she is gorgeous. I think they have two amazing kids, Will and Jada. They seem to have good heads on their shoulders. I think when you're born in that celebrity realm, you get a little crazy. How can you be normal growing up in that? I can't even imagine. So with that being said, I am getting out. I took my daughter we went to the hospital not to go to the hospital because she's sick. It was her diabetic well appointment where they checking everything out for her and got her back to school. And as soon as I was listening to everything, I'm like, I'm going to go live. I'm going to go live. And now I'm going to go lay down because I'm really tired. I'm really tired. So thanks, guys, for coming in. I'm glad I'm back to getting this, and it's getting a little bit better, because when you don't do this for a while, it's kind of like hard. You're like, that's right, I'm talking to myself. But I'm not. I'm talking to you all. But it feels like you're talking to yourself. But when somebody responds and you don't feel like you're talking to yourself. All right. I'm going to go now before, I lose my mind.